That's a live stream, honey. When you're live streaming, it can be live. Coffee can be going in the background. Kid can be making breakfast. Probably gets more views. Start off like this. See, I just hit live. That's the way it goes. And people are like, oh wow, she has kids. She has a life first thing in the morning where things just get going.
You're a normal person.
Shh. You guys did not hear her. Her. I just called my son a her. Hey, you guys did not hear him. I am not a normal person with morning activity and coffee going and children getting up to go to school and my body not wanting to get up and go to yoga. Going, what are you doing this cold, cold morning? Yeah, well, I'm having a cup of tea because I already had a cup of coffee. That's what I'm doing. And I'm doing conscious coffee really quick because my day is freaking crazy. But no, I did mornings. Steve, Addison, Keisha, Patrick. Hey, morning, everybody. I wanted to jump on really quick because I am off to yoga next, and then a crazy day. In truth, I mean, look at this list. See this list? Core activity list. That's more than 5 things. I always tell people, do 5 main things and just let those be and be grateful with that. And then I have a list of like 15. But hey, you know, Addison, I'm right there with you on wanting to stay in bed. Yeah, well, get your ass up, girl, because we got yoga in an hour. She's my workout buddy. So I wanted to jump on really quick now and just real quickly talk about, it was actually supposed to be an article yesterday and I never made it to, don't tell anybody, but the article that I wrote yesterday, I didn't actually write it yesterday. I wrote it like 5 years ago and it's been on my blog. And 5 years ago, I had hardly any followers and nobody was reading my shit. So I decided I'm going to pull something from like 5 years ago and put it out here because it went along kind of sort of with the last 2 conscious coffees that I did on women and on sex and on liberation and on living an orgasmic life and all that good stuff. So I totally cheated yesterday and just copy pasted my own shit and put it out there as though it was something new. Right? That's what happens when you write a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you can get away with doing that sometimes in the business world. You don't have to rewrite content every single day when you have, 300-400 articles a year going out. But I was actually intending, and I think if when I have time later today, my article title is going to be Practical Defiance of Your Power. So I thought, I always try to stream conscious copy and my article in a similar energy. So this morning's energy is all on practical defiance. And why is that? But now you have just a little bit tidbit more as to what that is actually about, and it is practical defiance of your power. And what do I mean by that? Practical defiance of our power. We all do it. Number one, we all defy our power with practicality, with ideas, with beliefs, with logic, with all these reasons as to why we cannot be all that we can be. I sound like a military advertisement there, don't I? Not the case at all. Be all you can be. Yeah. Seriously though, be all you can be is, we all have such great potential, such great power inside of us, creative life force, energy, God moving through us every single day. And it is one of those things that we come right up to the plate of our power, and we are asked by our soul to get into alignment, but that alignment is horrifically uncomfortable and scary, and we just go, I can't do this. And instead of saying I can't do this, although that is the underlying feeling, we go, I can't do this because blah 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 blah. And here comes the logical, the practical, reasoning, and we call it reasoning. Here is my reason for not doing this. Well, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the support. That's the typicals right there, right? Time, money, and support. Or another one is, well, my body's just not going to support me in that. Like, my body can't handle that. I don't have the well-being for that. And, or numerous, I'm too scattered, I just don't have this, that. So then we break that down into little reasons. We don't understand I have 3 kids. You don't understand I'm a single parent. You don't understand I work a 60-hour work week. You don't understand I'm just paycheck to paycheck. You don't understand I've, got this chronic blah, 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 blah going on. You don't understand I had this injury, like all of this stuff. And these are reasons as to why practically we cannot truly tap into our power, why we cannot truly live the lives that we are called to live, and that we feel that calling, we feel that pull inside of us, and we go, yeah, I really want that. I really, really want that. But I can't because of. So this is that practical defiance, because what we're doing is we're defying our own power, we're defying our own purpose, we're defying who we really are, our soul, and what it is calling us to be and do and to have, which is all those dreams, those desires that we really want. And we completely defy it by giving a practical, logical reason as to why we can't. So we, in turn, flip off our power and turn away from that path, turn away from exactly what we should be doing, because we're like, wow, there's a reason right here, right? And it feels okay to have a reason. It doesn't feel like we're going into victim mode. It doesn't feel like we are making up excuses as to why we can't have this or that or do or be whatever it is that we're wanting. The reality is that we're just making up excuses. Those reasons are just excuses. I don't care how logical they are, how practical they are. They are nothing more than excuses. A lot of it is coming from the ego, the pain body, of that victimhood mentality of, that I can't have that. I'm not worthy of that. I'm not capable of that. That's just not, like, no, I can't. I'm not going to push into the fear. I'm not going to push into, into really expanding myself, feeling better. But when we do push past all that stuff, and we push past the discomfort, and we really step into who we are just by little bits, we push past all those practical reasons, we get a little bit of expansion with everything that we push into, with every place that we actually go, all right, I understand that this is uncomfortable for my timeline, that yeah, I have to figure out, like Addison and I, we just signed up for unlimited yoga yesterday. And I love yoga. And it's been a while that I've done the unlimited version of this. And I'm like, like I want to commit to like 30 days of straight yoga, which isn't going to happen because, well, it's just not going to happen. There's holidays in the way and all that good stuff. But I know that getting in, like 25 out of 30 days of yoga, how beneficial that's going to be, the vitality that's going to come back, just the feeling of just having that consistent practice and everything. And we sat down yesterday and we looked at our schedule. So she's got her crazy schedule and I got my crazy schedule. And we're like, how can we fit in, yoga time in the midst of this? And we're like, okay, well, let's go 6 a.m. here and let's go 8:30 here and let's go 7:30 there and let's go, like all over the place. And we're like working through and we're like, well, we can push this here and we can push that there. And we made it happen. We sat down and we looked at 2 weeks and we made yoga happen for the 2-week time frame. We made that commitment to our well-being, to what we are wanting in the long haul. Okay? And so making that commitment and adjusting the rest of the world to fit that commitment. And that's what we have to do. And anything that we want to really push into and push toward for our well-being, because it's all about our well-being, right? We have to adjust the rest of the world to fit that commitment level. And that is exactly what, like even if it's, I work a lot with people and they come in and they go, well, I just don't have, I really want this, but I don't have the time to, I don't have, you're all the way up there and I'm all all the way down here. I don't have the time to drive to you. I don't have the time for a 30-minute call. I don't have the time for an hour-long call. I don't have the time to sit in the car and drive to you. Or well, I don't have the finances to do that. Like, that's really going to push me into a tough position and blah, blah, blah. And I understand that. I mean, I've pushed myself into numerous tough positions financially to get what I want for my own personal growth. And I've never been let down by that move or by pushing myself on my timeline to actually achieve the results that I want for my body, for my health, for my education, for any of that stuff. Anytime we push into those areas, we do expand, and our souls do not let us down. They don't. Is it uncomfortable? Is it scary on the front side because it is new terrain? Absolutely. But what we have to keep in mind when we are striving toward what we absolutely want and desire is we have to keep this statement out. Remember who did this? I took a training eons ago, and I think the woman wrote a book, and that's all I know is that there's a woman that wrote a book, is where this half-ass quote that I'm going to steal and reconvert for her kind of comes in here. But the quote kind of goes something like this: in order to grow, we must make familiar that is unfamiliar, and that is unfamiliar familiar. And it is right there that we have to do, because everything that is familiar to us right now, those things that are comfortable to us right now, look at it. If the things that are familiar and comfortable right now, if they were the things that were going to give you the life that you wanted, then you would have the life that you wanted right now. So obviously, I mean, no rocket science here, right? This is like, wow, whoa, mind blow. Guess what? Then, if you don't have the life that you want right now, if you don't have the body, the love, the sex, the money, the career, the whatever, the family life, the connection, the intimacy that you want right now in your life, then obviously, maybe, possibly, most certainly, you most likely need to take what is familiar and toss it that direction and make it unfamiliar. And things that you know or that you don't know, you need to figure it out, and you need to make those unfamiliar things familiar in your life, which means that you must create a practice of creating new habits, new connections, new commitments, new lines of communication, new lines of understanding, new lines of growth. You must commit to that and create a practice in that in order to have the life that you want. So the version of you that has everything that you want, that whole life that you want, let's say that version is 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, and that is that person that, you know, like that version of you, they have it going on, right? They're everything that you want to be and everything that you really want to achieve. So if you look at that, how does that person live their life? You know, what are they doing with their families? What are they doing in their sex? What are they doing in their finances? What are they doing in their business? How are they taking care of? How are they showing themselves self-love? How are they showing commitment in life? How are they showing up in each day? Because if you start acting on that guideline, you start going, okay, I just need to take one of those things. I need to really focus in on that, and I need to create a practice, a habit around that. That one little thing is going to shift everything in there, and it's going to open up the gateways to you actually opening up that whole channel to having what you want. Okay, but you must make unfamiliar the things that are familiar in order to have that. You must get rid of this version of you in order to become the version that you want. And in order to become the version that you want, all those unfamiliar things, which are going to be uncomfortable, because that is from the expanded self, that is from you, that is knowing so much more, that is understanding so much more. That version of you is going to not feel very safe or very comfortable in the being that you are right now, because it's a new aspect of yourself. You're going to know yourself differently. You're going to feel differently. You're going to think differently. You're going to speak differently. You're going to have so much different. I mean, just think about it. Do you relate to life the same way that you did when you were 16? No, right? Like, you probably thought that you knew a lot when you were 16. You probably thought that your parents didn't know that much. You probably, like, we all know that teenagers know everything, right? And we also know as adults that teenagers don't know shit. They don't know shit. They don't have life experience. They haven't been through different things. They don't understand all this stuff out here. But if we think that we know everything right now, that we need to know, and that this version of us is going to get us to that version of us that we so desperately want, then we're acting like the 16-year-old who thinks that they know everything. And we don't know shit about that version of ourselves. We don't. We have no clue. But what we can do is we can look at that version, or here's how you do it. You look at people that resemble what you want. Okay? You look at people that resemble what you want, and you look at what are their practices. What are the things that they are doing? What are those steps to success? Get in there and start reading success books, leadership books, self-growth books, doing the work. Hire a coach, a mentor, somebody that has been down that path. And you don't just pick somebody, just pick somebody. You need to pick somebody that is in alignment to you, that has been through some of the shit that you have been through, or is through some of the shit that you're going through right now, so that you feel like you can connect to them and you go, oh, you made it through. Tell me how you did it. Tell me how you did it. Guide me, lead me, coach me. That is what coaches and mentors are. That's what we do. We help people move through their shit, but typically our clients are the ones that resonate with us, that are in alignment with us, that have similar thinking, similar paths, similar wounds, so that we can help move them through it. So it's like, you don't just go, oh, you're a coach, I'll hire you. Like whatever, I don't need to know anything about you. I don't care about any of that stuff. No, I don't even really like you, so I'm going to hire you. Yeah, no, you need to like the person. You need to be able to trust the person. You need to be able to feel. Read the books that you need to read. Listen to the audios that you need to listen to. Get your butt to workshops. Do all these different things, because that I guarantee you, any successful person, the more successful a person is, the more time and money they spend on self-growth. Okay? I spend a shit ton on that stuff. I know that the more and more I grow, the more and more I also focus in on like all this stuff for self, and I get very, very self-centered, which is the requirement for your growth. Because as long as you're running around and you're going, oh, I can't do this because of the practical defiance, because of my children, because of my spouse, because of my, my work obligations, because of my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my besties, my church, my whatever. As long as you're putting all these other people's ideas, perceptions, opinions, judgments in front of your self-love, your self-care, you will never, ever, ever, I promise you that, succeed at becoming the person that you want to be and living the life that you want to live. You must get selfish in order to have the life that you want. And from that, you'll be able to give back so much more. You'll be able to connect so much more. You will be thriving. And a thriving person has the energy, has the finances, has the time, has all this different stuff to be able to support the people and the causes that they want to support. Where a person who is just handing it all over and just being the martyr to their life and the people in their life has nothing left to give, because they have not given to the person that they need to be giving to, which is self. So, practical defiance. How are you practically defying? And this is your question of today before I head out here. How are you practically defying yourself, your dreams, your goals? What are those reasons? And write this down. Like, what are the reasons that I consistently give to not step in, to not commit, to not have the life that I want? And then the next question is, what are the things that I need to make unfamiliar in my current life so that I can move forward, so that I can grow? And what are the things that I need to make familiar in order to grow? Ask yourself those 3 questions today. Just do yourself that favor. And then guess what? Step the fuck in. Commit. Expand. And be consciously aware of that practical defiance. And when you feel yourself speaking it and coming up with this beautiful, logical reason as to why, and you feel that little, I'm a little nervous, I'm a little scared here, realize that is a signal of that you are right where you need to be, and it is decision time. Do I remain in the body, in the life that I am having right now? Do I settle for this? And do I settle for the dissatisfaction that I am living, the unhappiness that I'm living, the lack of well-being that I am living? Do I settle for this, or do I push past this little and really lean into everything, absolutely everything that I want. So, all right, let me see. What do I have going on? I think everybody pretty much knows what I have going on at this point. A lot. That's what I have going on. A lot. I have local people. There's a whole bunch of events. I just suggest just jump on my events tab at kendalwilliams.com. Jump on the events tab. Look at the events that are coming up. There are pujas. There are certification courses for some of my magic, the tantric field tantra stuff that I'm doing, all the quantum field there, and there's also satsangs, and oh my goodness, I just have a whole bunch of events for local people. Global people, I'm actually teaching a class with Dr. Michael Harris in November in about, I don't know, like 21 days or something like that. Teaching a class with him. He's a local hypnotist, and we're doing a global online class here on Facebook, which you can also read about on my events tab, and it's all about unwhelming and surviving the holidays. So we're giving away 6 tips, hacks, I believe is what we're calling them. 6 hacks, some really important ones to make, wow, my screen just turned blue, and I turned blue with it. To make the holidays a lot more enjoyable, take some of that holiday stress off. So some of the things from a very busy woman, mom of 7, 4 grandbabies, all these clients, travel and all that good stuff in my life. And what are some of the things that I do to make the holidays enjoyable and reduce the stress and the overwhelm of it? Well, we are giving some of those tips away, and really going to be discussing good things for you to do to make this season of joy actually joyful. Outside of that, you can also look, dang, I had something pop in and it's gone. It's gone. I was like, oh, I should talk about that. Did not give it enough attention. Oh, well, I guess I'll catch it later then. So go to the events tab, check that out, and I will catch you guys tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. As always, stop existing, start living, and I will see you tomorrow.